Hello everybody, welcome to the Hypnosis Academy. How are you all feeling? Wonderful? The sun is shining here and it's about 34 degrees, so it's just warming up beautifully now. Today I'm going to talk about the up and coming courses that we're going to be running from September onwards. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So I'm going to be running 4 courses more, I believe, and then I'm going to begin to repeat the courses again, maybe next year, and run the courses through, okay? So what's on the agenda for September, October, November, etc.? Well, what I'd like to do is I want to share with you the way that I use EMI, eye movement integration, EFT, emotional freedom therapy, and also havening. So what we're doing is basically I've used these techniques. These techniques are for reducing and relieving people of trauma. That can be post-traumatic stress disorder, any kind of trauma. And surprisingly, people have a lot of trauma. But there are you can find out all of these techniques already online. But what I want to do is I want to share with you the way that I use them. Because what happens is when you've got a tool, that's great to have the tool. But knowing when and how to use it really effectively is even more important. So basically that's the idea, is to take these tools that are fairly commonly known now and use them in practical situations. The EFT is one that I use a tremendous amount when people aren't even able to speak. They can't even vocalize the problem. This happens a lot. Some people can't even tell you. They are so traumatized by it. EFT is fantastic for that. So is havening, and so is EMI. All of them really are the same. They're all in the same bag of let's get the person down to a manageable level of ease. Sometimes, very often in fact, with EMI and havening and EFT, the problem disappears completely, just disappears. The difference that we're doing in this course is that we're going to be using these techniques in hypnosis. And I'm going to be showing you how I use hypnosis with EFT, with havening, with EMI as well, how I use hypnosis when the people don't even know I'm using hypnosis. Okay, so that's one course. The next course that we're going to be doing is parts therapy. And I've talked about parts therapy before, but your client tells you when they need parts therapy. And they just say it this way, and in various ways, but they go, I really want to do it. It's just, I don't know, but there's like this part of me that doesn't want to do it. But there's a part of me that does want to do it. Parts therapy. They've told you. That's it. We need to balance those parts out. Okay? We split ourselves down the middle sometimes, and sometimes heavier toward not doing than doing. So what the idea of parts therapy is to get the parts to be one, to work together. But to do that, you've got to do some negotiation with the parts. How do you negotiate with the parts? Well, you've got to find out what it is that they want. And let me tell you, that always comes as a big shock to people. Very often, not what the good part wants, that's obvious, is what the bad part wants. And so we've got to help our client to get through that and get to the nice bit. So parts therapy is a fundamental part of doing therapy with people, because you can work as much as you like on helping somebody to get the motivation to do something. But if they have a part that is stopping them from doing it, no matter what you do, it's going to be there going, no, I know you're motivated, but you're not doing it. Okay? So what we need to do is to get that part on our side, or at least on the side of the client. And the secret is, it already is. It just doesn't know it, and it's a bit lost. That's all. So we help the part to find its way. Okay, so that's parts therapy. Then I'm going to be doing a healing with hypnosis physical healing. Now, this is a really, really interesting world. This is a world that in truth I have dipped into and then not. I worked with a number of people who were who had cancer, okay, and I've used these techniques with them a lot. Some people got over the cancer and now are living a healthy life. Some people didn't and have moved to the other side. So does that mean that this process doesn't work? It does work. It really does. But you know what I had to learn? I had to learn a very important lesson, that some people have decided that they're going. And even though you work with them, and even though that they're happy for you to work with them, they often still go. Even though they resolve everything, they still go. Why? Because that's their business. It's not your business. However, there are lots of people who don't want to go, who want to stay, who still have work to be done. And so this process that we do in hypnosis is a beautiful process of helping to find out what the emotional problem is that's creating the physical. Right? If you believe in mind, body and spirit, which I'm sure you do, everything is connected. So as we think, so we are. Yeah? As we think, so we feel. But as we feel, so we think. And physically, when we have a physical problem, it changes us emotionally and it changes us mentally. So basically everything is linked. Every physical problem is linked to something else. And so our job is like hypnotic detectives, is to find out what it is. What are the issues? You see, what happens is this. If you can help somebody to cleanse all of the issues that are surrounding that particular problem, physical manifestation, then what happens is all the body has to do is cure it then. That's it. That's the body's job, and the person, obviously, and the doctor, if it's a doctor, and the homeopath or whatever, then they can get on with clearing it and healing it. But if we don't clear the emotional trauma, let's say that is attached to that, then it's very difficult to heal it. Or it takes longer for it to heal, or it doesn't heal properly. Yeah. So that's our job. Our job, we are not healers. I'm not a healer. But our job is to kind of clean the area down, get rid of all of the crap so that the healers then can move in and heal. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's another course that I'm going to be offering. And then the last one, which I think is really, really important, and I use this a tremendous amount with my clients, is actually understanding clients' values, eliciting clients' values, and also eliciting clients' love strategies. Okay? Love strategies and values. Why is that important? Because we measure everything in our life based on our values. Everything. We decide if something's good or bad based on our values. We decide on our partner based on our values. Okay? The issue is that often we choose our partner far too early when we don't even know what our values are. And so what happens is as we get to know our partner, we discover that we share no values with them, or that they go against our top values. And boy, does that cause problems. Part of the course is going to be helping people to understand how to do couple therapy. Because I've done couple therapy. It's fascinating. It's hilarious. It's disappointing sometimes. I've got to say that men are not very good in couple therapy. In my experience, I haven't done a lot of it, but men are slightly problematic. However, once they actually get on board, wonderful things can happen. Okay, so that course is all going to be about discovering what your values are. Once you understand them, Once you understand your values, and we have a hierarchy of values, we have a top value, then we start understanding how our relationships work with anybody else. We admire people who have our values. We like them. And we tell them that they're nice people. And we really detest people who break our values or who don't have our values, or we're not interested in them. The people who don't share our values, we're not really interested in them. So that spark of connection that we have with people, the people who resonate with you, often resonate because they're sharing some of your values. Okay? Values. What's the difference between a value and a belief? Massive. Massive. Both can be changed. Beliefs can be changed in a trice. Values can be changed, but they are very, very ingrained. They're way, way deep below the beliefs. Beliefs come and go. But beliefs are very much hinged or revolve around our values. So our values are very important. So that would be a really interesting course for you to understand yourself and to know how to understand other people. Once you know somebody's values, you can play them like a fiddle. You really can. Once you know somebody's values. But that's what I mean by that. In terms of, as a client, you can make sure that you have their attention. Yeah, you just have to display their values. And they go, wow, this person knows what they're talking about. Okay? And if you want to really cheese somebody off, then what you do is you go against their values in a sentence, and you watch the reaction, like pushing a big red button. Fascinating subject. So that's what we're going to be doing in the autumn. Yeah, and if you're interested, I haven't posted the dates yet, but I'm going to soon, and then you can start signing up for that if you want. All the courses cost £175. That's just a standard thing. However, that's if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, then you talk to me and you tell me what you can afford. That's it. And then we agree. Yeah. And if you can't afford anything, then you tell me and we come to an agreement. Okay. So money should not be the stumbling block for you to not attend. Yeah. I'm happy for you to pay whatever, but if you can afford to pay it, then I'm very happy that you pay the price. Yeah. Okay. So super duper. I'll post soon the dates, and I look forward to spending time with you all and sharing what I know and finding more. On every course I learn so much more from you too. Okay. I love you all. Take care.